Now, history has been made in South Korea in the past few hours with the inauguration of the country's first ever female president. Park Geun-hye took the oath of office at the National Assembly in Seoul.
To South Koreans, these faces are as familiar as those in their own family albums. No one perhaps did more to change the nation's course, nor stayed in office as long as its former president Park Chung-hee. Which means that South Koreans are already familiar with their next president, Park Geun-hye. She's his daughter, and her dramatic personal story is already part of the nation's history.
When I was just 22 years old, I assumed the unprecedented duties as our country's acting First Lady. That was because I had the responsibility to fill the void left by my mother's death in the hands of a North Korean terrorist.
Her mother's assassination in 1974 is seen by many as the moment that changed Park Geun-hye's life. Then a young woman living in Paris, she came back to take on her mother's role.
Park Geun-hye used her first speech as president to call on North Korea to abandon its nuclear ambitions and to get back to serious peace talks.
Trust can be built through dialogue and by honoring promises that have already been made. It is my hope that North Korea will abide by international norms and make the right choice so that the trust-building process on the Korean peninsula can move forward.
I won a place at the inauguration online. I just graduated from university, but I haven't found a job yet. I hope our new president will focus on job creation.
I'm concerned about North Korea. They seem to be doing things to provoke other countries, so I hope Park's government can resolve these issues.
The members of her political team are now in place. She picked a prime minister, her chief of staff, and 17 cabinet ministers. Lawyer and former prosecutor Chung Hong-won is her nominee for prime minister. Her first choice was a former chief of the Constitutional Court, but he had to turn down the job because of suspicions about his land deals and his son's draft dodging. Park named former diplomat Yoon Byung-se as her nominee for Foreign Affairs and Trade Minister. He served as senior presidential secretary under late President Roh Moo-hyun, who took a conciliatory approach toward North Korea. But Yoon takes a more conservative stance. Park has chosen Ryu Gil-jae as her reunification minister. He's a professor at the University of North Korean Studies. Yoo Min-bong takes on the role of Presidential Chief of Staff. He'll be in charge of several senior secretary members. He's an academic with expertise in leadership and administrative affairs. He was on the Transition Committee and helped map out Park's administration. Former Defense Minister Kim Jang-soo will lead the newly created National Security Office. He's known for his hardline stance against the North. When he met late North Korean leader Kim Jong-il in 2007, he didn't bow. Former TV producer Lee Nam-gi has taken on the position of Senior Secretary for Public Relations. He is internet savvy and is well-versed in social media. Park also nominated a minister for the new Future Creation and Science Ministry. But opposition members criticized the selection because the National Assembly has yet to approve the establishment of the ministry itself. Lawmakers still need to approve Park's cabinet nominees. After her inauguration, Park is moving into the Blue House, a place where she spent part of her 20s when her father led the country. And later this evening, she will host a party there, which will be attended by South Korean politicians and foreign delegates.